In younger children, the concepts of right and wrong are very defined. In adult life, these children will need to have moved from the simplistic view to an understanding of the complexity behind tough decisions. In early schooling, they are usually faced with decisions where there is a right answer, one where everyone is happy. A series of lessons linked to the effect of human activities on the environment in social science gave them a first exposure to being faced with a tricky decision where no matter what choice was made, someone was negatively affected. This series of lessons, linked to the effect of human activities on the environment in social science, gave them a first exposure to being faced with a tricky decision where no matter what choice was made, someone was negatively affected. Site A would wipe out 75% of the habitat of an endangered frog. Site B would displace a small but historical and wealthy village, and Site C would displace an informal settlement and encroach heavily on arable land. Having looked at all the points of view, they now needed to make a decision based on solid reasoning. A simple pros and cons app called T-Charts was used for children who struggled to make a decision. At this time, they were also given the opportunity to ask follow-up questions of the characters from the auras. The teacher, dressed as the characters, answered, often heatedly, the mayor's questions. It was not an easy decision. Once they had formulated a response, they used a flowcharting app called PureFlow to plan the speech they would deliver to the people at a press conference. Learners who'd finished more quickly were given some moral dilemmas, curveballs like being offered a substantial gift not to choose a site, or a personal interest in not opting for a site. Learners set up some protest action against the destruction of the frog's habitat. This brought home for many the potential effect of human activities on nature, and brought up questions like, when do we place the needs of humans in front of nature? They now took turns at being the mayor delivering the speech they'd prepared for the class. The class played the roles of the communities affected by the decision. Using Touchcast, learners now had to decide what angle of the story they'd like to cover as reporters. They could be journalists, either inside or outside the event reporting on the conference, or a news reporter in the studio reporting on the protesters. The series of lessons resulted in some creative ideas and involved discussions around the effect of human activities on animals, bribery, and how personal things might influence decisions. It also brought up how reporting can be biased, which we can only hope makes them consider things they hear about in the future beyond face value. Faced with a page in a textbook and a few questions, I have no doubt that the resultant learning would have been less than a shadow of what was achieved with the aid of technology.